Guys, welcome to another awesome tutorial. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can actually create an all-in-one bootable media. So basically a Windows 7, a Windows 8 and a Windows 10 media all in one flash drive without having to use multiple flash drives to get things like this done. So basically all you need for this is the flash drive you need and the ISO files you need to get it done. You can download the ISO files from HP website or wherever you can get it from, or any third party website. And one thing I should let you guys know is that when creating bootable media using this software we use, because we'll be using the software called Easy to Boot. So when creating media like this using this software, I recommend using an actual flash drive like this, not an OTG flash drive that has two sides. So this works fine, but sometimes it gives headache, and I don't want to stress you guys with having to do all of this mumbo jumbo stuff, all this kind of stuff in one video, and it's really stressful. So I don't want to get dislikes basically. So this is a single flash drive. This is what I would recommend to get this done. So to get this done, I'll see you guys on the other side where I'll show you guys how it's done in the tutorial. For now, peace out. Okay, so since we're on our PC now, let's just get right to business with having to waste much time. The first thing we want to be doing is that we want to be plugging in our flash drive. Okay, let's plug in our flash drive. And our flash drive is plugged in. And let's head to our file manager, that is Windows Explorer, and let's erase this flash drive. So basically, let's format this flash drive. Let's close out this, and let's click on Format. Now click on Start. Now make sure this is selected to the NTFS partition, and yeah, basically everything should be set to default. Just click on Start and press OK. Now this shouldn't take long to format and erase, just about a few seconds or so. Now the speed of this will determine how fast and how good your flash drive basically is, so be sure to check that out as well. Now we've successfully formatted our flash drive and you can see it's totally empty. Now let's head to our desktop. Now we have a folder called OS in our desktop. Now inside of this folder contains all the files we'll be using for this tutorial. Now basically we have a Windows 8 32 bits, a Windows 8 64 bits, a Windows 7 64 bits, a Windows 7 32 bit, and of course a Windows 10 64 bit. Now all of these files are bootable files, basically Windows installation media files, and we'll be putting all of this inside one flash drive instead of having to put them in multiple flash drives. Now all we need for this tutorial are these files, of course, or any of the files you can get from any website. You can download them from anywhere, but if you want me to leave them on my cloud drive, I'll do that as well. So I'll close out of this. Now what you want to be doing is that you want to be opening this or this. Now this is the legacy partition boot and this is the UEFI partition boot. You can just Google out what the differences are basically with this two, but basically you can use the legacy or UEFI boot for any laptop, but I prefer using legacy because it's easier and quicker to just access the files instead of using UEFI. But UEFI boots support mostly newer laptops and newer generation of computers and PCs and desktop and that kind of shit. But if you're using a normal, just a recent or a casual PC, you can just get going with legacy. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be using legacy boots, and let's just open that up and make sure you have WinRAR or any RAR opener file installed on your PC. So let's run this installation of Easy to Boot, and it's going to ask us for permission to run, and all you have to do is just press yes, click on yes, and it's open for us. Now let's click on next. Okay, to install. Install on our PC. It's installing, and it should take some time to install, and you can find the installation part on your desktop or wherever you set it to install to. It's set to install on my desktop, so yeah, basically that's why it's showing on this part. Now it's going to install for us. It shouldn't take long. Okay. Okay, yeah, so that's that. Now the files are done copying and it's installed successfully. Now what we'll be doing is that I want to be closing out of this and heading to our start menu, scrolling down and looking for Easy to Boot. Now this is the software we just installed. Now what I want to be doing is that I want to be right clicking this and heading to more and running as administrator. Okay, so run as administrator and then you press yes. Okay, so now we are on the same software we just closed out of. Now this is the main button we want to be clicking. This pink bordered button right here. Okay, now before we do that, we want to be selecting our flash drive. Now make sure the flash drive you're selecting from this drop down is the flash drive you plugged. So basically you check the size of the flash drive and make sure to check the name, so you don't get, you don't erase the wrong disk or flash drive or hard drive when doing this. So let's click on this red pink button and let's just click on OK. Now make sure your flash drive you're using is a good one, else this might give you an error. Basically it shows a red background and says your stuff didn't go through, blah blah blah, and we don't want that to happen. Now it's going to ask you if you want to clean the flash drive. Now this is the part where you have to be sure before you erase the flash drive. Make sure you check the name of the flash drive you're erasing before you press OK. So let's go down, let's press OK. Okay, and it's going to erase our flash drive for us. As you can see, it's erasing and formatting our flash drive to an NTFS format. Okay, so yeah, the process is running and it should take some time, but basically it's going to copy some files from you to the flash drive after it has erased the flash drive, and basically make it bootable for you to get all the OSs inside of them in one flash drive. Okay, so the files are copying and you can wait for some few minutes, or I think it shouldn't take up to a minute or so to get this done. So let's just wait. And just so you know, you should disable your antivirus if it's causing this not to work. As you can see here, it says some antivirus program might make this not to work, so make the copying phase fail. So be sure to disable any antivirus software you have on your PC. Okay, so this is installing, and yeah, it's installing. So once it's finished, it shows you this green background and you can press finished, press any key to continue. So I just press enter and it's done. So what we want to be doing is now we want to be closing out of this and opening our folder called OS that has all the files we need. So now we have the file, the OS folder open that contains all of the ISO files we need. Now you don't have to put all of them if you don't want to. You can just put the Windows 7 on the Windows 8 or just the Windows 10. It will still work fine, but for the sake of this tutorial, just to show you guys it works exactly fine, I'm just going to be putting everything in one flash drive. Okay, so let's just get right to it. Now let's head on to my PC and let's open. Now this is the flash we created, this is the flash drive we created. It's called easy to boot, for short E2B. Now I want to be opening the flash drive and we want to be opening the ISO folder, underscore ISO folder. So open it up, and inside of this ISO folder there are lots of folders here. Now if you have a Linux ISO file, let's say Linux installation media, you can as well copy it and paste it inside of this place and it will work exactly fine. Well, since we just have Windows installation medias for now, let's just open this folder up and just paste it inside of this folder. Now you can see that these are lots of folders there, but what we're going to be focusing on is from this part downwards. Okay, down to this part. Now I don't have any Windows XP and Windows Vista installation media. I mean, why would I have that? It's really old. I only have Windows 10, Windows 8 and Windows 7. So what I want to be doing is that I want to be opening the folders separately. Okay, so I'm drag this to the left side and I'll drag my Windows to the right side. So basically I'm just going to mark the Windows 10 folder, the Windows 10 ISO file, and I'm going to drag it to the Windows 10 folder. Okay, now it's going to copy the files for me to the Windows 10 folder, and I'll wait for that to complete and I'll continue the video once it's done. Okay, we're about to be done with the copying of the Windows 10 media. Now if you noticed, I copied the Windows 10 media to the Windows 10 folder. You can see the folder right here. This is the folder I copied it to, not anyone else. Now you'll be copying the Windows 7 to the Windows 7 folder, the Windows 8 to the Windows 8 folders, and so on. So basically that's how it's done. Now I've copied the Windows 10 to the Windows 10 folder. Let's get to the other ones. Now this is done copying, just a few seconds, and that's done. Now the Windows 10 has been copied to the Windows 10 folder, and if you open your Windows 10 folder, you can see that the Windows 10 file is right here. Now this is the Windows 10 installation media, and it should work fine when we boot it up. Okay, so what we want to be copying now is the Windows 8 folder. Now we have the Windows 8 ISO file. Now we have two of these, the 64 bits and the 32 bits. Now I'm just going to mark both of them and just drag them to the Windows 8 folder. You can see I'm copying it to Windows 8, and I'm going to leave it for it to copy. Now it's copying from OS to Windows 8 folder, and be sure to put each of them in their respective folder so you don't have errors when you're putting them up. Okay, so let's wait for this to copy, and I'll see you guys on the other side when it's done. Okay, so the Windows 8 files are done copying. Now, if you head to the Windows 8 folder, open it up, you can see that the files are inside of here. Now we have the 86, the 80, sorry, we have the 64 bits and the 32 bits of the Windows 8 files. Now let's copy the Windows 7 files. You can just select both of them by using Control and clicking on them, and then dragging them to the Windows 7 folder. Now it says I don't have enough space to copy. Now this is a really big challenge because I already occupied most of my space I have here. So what I might be able to do is I might be able to get a bigger flash drive. It's a 2 gigabytes of flash drive, or I might just accept some of them from what I'm doing. So basically, I'll look for the one I do not need the most, and I'll delete that, and then just copy the rest of them. I do not need the 60 the 32-bit of the Windows 7. I'm just going to be deleting that and just copying just 64 bits to my flash drive. So let's just copy that, drag and drop this to the Windows 7 folder, and it should copy fine for me. So basically, get a bigger flash drive, or you can exempt some files, leave some files from the list of the ISO files you want to include to these ones. So let's just wait for this to be done copying, and let's boot from our flash drive to show you guys how exactly it works. See you guys on the other side. Okay, so the files are done copying. Now if you check out your Windows 7 folder, you can see that the Windows 7 file is here. Check on your Windows 8 folder, you can see that the Windows 8 files are here, and the Windows 10 files are also in the Windows 10 folder. So now that we have that out of the way, what we'll be doing is that I want to be opening our file explorer and heading to this PC. Now our flash drive is almost full. This is why I recommend it is 2 gigabytes of flash drive. Now what we want to be doing is that I want to be ejecting this flash drive. So let's click on eject, and let's unplug it from our PC. Okay, so now we can unplug our flash drive and just boot onto the flash drive. Now I'll be showing you guys how to boot from your flash drive on the other side. So basically, if you're using an HP PC, the boot key is F9. For an Acer PC is F12. A Dell PC is also F12. A Lenovo is escape key or function F12. But basically, just Google out what boot key your devices use, and you'll be good to go. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace out. Okay, so this is our PC. Now we're going to test run the flash drive we just created, the boot media we just created on this PC. And to do that, we need to use our boot key to boot that to the boot options. For an HP PC, the boot key is F9. For a Dell PC, the boot key is F12, and a Lenovo is Escape or Function F12. You can just Google whatever key yours uses. If it's the model name, you just Google the model name and ask Google what boot key it uses. But basically, this is an F9 boot key. Let's just zoom into the keys now. This PC is like trash. It's really old. You can see one of my keys are out already. So this is my F9 key. I'm just going to power on this baby. I'm going to press F9 continuously till I see it on the screen there. F9 change boot order device. Okay, so yeah, basically it's just gonna show us a list of bootable devices. Now don't mind the lines on my screen. I use what I have. I'm not that rich. So let me just show you guys this how this works. So basically you scroll down to the USB hard drive, the one I'm using. It's the USB hard drive, the one plugged in right now. Okay, so let's just press enter on this. Okay, and press enter. Now it's going to boot up for us and it's going to load up this way. Now, if yours gives you errors, you should check if secure boot is enabled or disabled. If it's disabled, you need to leave it that way. But if it's enabled, you need to disable secure boot. Now, it's booted up for us. Now, what we want to be doing is I want to be heading to Windows install menu. Now, if you have Linux file copied to this part, you can see you will be able to see the Linux at this part. But since we just have Windows installation copied, let's just open the Windows install menu. Now let's press enter. Okay, and these are the list of bootable devices we copied. So when we check on Windows 7, we can see that the Windows 7 we copied, just the 64-bit is available there. Head back to Windows install menu and head to Windows 8, and you see that the list of bootable devices are also here on Windows 8. This is the 32-bit, this is 4-bit also. So let's head back to Windows install menu. Now let's just test out one of these we just installed. So let's just test out the Windows 10 version. So let's open this up and let's just test out the Windows 10, the 20H2 version. So you press enter. Now it's going to ask you whatever option you want to go with. Now there are a list of options here, but I normally choose the number 5, which is the Windows 10 Pro. It's just gonna do that for me. So I just press number 5 and I press enter. Now if you're using the Windows 8, I think you should press the number 3 for Windows 8.1, and if you're using the Windows 7, just press number 1 for the full language. So since I press number 5, press enter. It's going to load up for us, and bam, it's booting up Windows 10 for us. That's that. So let's wait up till the boot is complete and let's see how it goes. Okay, so this has booted up for us to the Windows 10 installation. Now it's going to show you some list of stuff here, and it's just automatically going to run for you. But if it doesn't automatically run, it's going to ask you if you want to press enter or press end and press enter. Whichever way, whatever you do, just press enter or just follow the instructions there. Now this is the Windows installation part. Now let's scroll to next and click on this. Now, this is a normal way of installing Windows on your PC. It all works exactly fine without errors. So I'll be sure to get a like on this video, I bet you. So you can just delete your partitions and install Windows cleanly, or you could run the Windows installation media on top, or you could create a new partition and just run that over there. So that's all for this video, guys. I'll be sure to see your likes, comments if you have any question, and be sure to share on other platforms, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace out.